Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating, surprising, and truly unbelievable stories in the world of coin collecting, the 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin that has shocked collectors, investors, and historians alike, now with a current market value reaching a jaw-dropping $25 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single 1-cent coin, something most people wouldn't even glance at twice, could be worth enough to buy a mansion, a collection of luxury cars, or even set you up for life. So, make sure you stick around until the very end of this video, because you're about to learn the full story of how this humble penny became one of the most valuable coins in American history and how you might be holding one right now without even realizing it. To truly understand why this particular coin is so rare and valuable, we need to go back to the late 1970s, a period of transition, inflation, and change in the U.S. economy. The year 1978 was part of the last era of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series before major minting updates in the following decade. Most 1978 pennies were struck at the Denver Mint and carry a small D mint mark, while others were produced in San Francisco for proof sets. But the ones struck in Philadelphia carry no mint mark at all. These are the famous no mint mark Lincoln cents. While that might sound normal since Philadelphia coins traditionally lacked a mint mark, what makes one particular 1978 no mint mark penny so special and astronomically valuable lies in its composition, striking errors, and unique history of survival. Let's start with the design itself. The 1978 penny features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, which first appeared on the cent in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The obverse side of the coin shows Lincoln's right-facing bust, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," along the upper rim, "Liberty," to the left, and the date, 1978, to the right. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, with the words, "United States of America," at the top, "E Pluribus Unum," above the memorial, and 1 cent below it. At first glance, this coin looks exactly like any ordinary penny, but as we've seen many times before in numismatics, the tiniest differences can make all the difference between 1 cent and $25 million. Now, let's uncover what makes this particular 1978 no-mint mark penny worth a fortune. The first reason lies in a rare and fascinating minting error. Most of these coins were struck in copper-plated zinc, as the U.S. Mint was preparing to phase out the 95% copper composition that had been used for decades. However, a few test strikes and transitional errors occurred where certain 1978 cents were mistakenly struck on pure copper planchets left over from earlier runs. These transitional error coins are extremely rare, and only a handful are known to exist. Even more interesting is that one of these copper strikes showed an extraordinary level of preservation, known as proof-like, with mirror-like surfaces and crisp details, something that normally doesn't happen on circulation coins. This exceptional example was later authenticated and graded by experts, making it the most valuable 1978 Lincoln penny in existence. But that's not the only thing driving its astronomical price. Another major factor is its condition. In the coin collecting world, condition means everything. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with mint state 70, MS 70, being a perfect, flawless coin. The 1978 penny that stunned the market was graded MS 70 red by the Professional Coin Grading Service, known as PCGS, a grade so rare for a coin over 4 decades old that it's almost mythical. The deep red color, lack of contact marks, and pristine surface make it an absolute masterpiece of minting. Collectors from around the world competed fiercely for it when it went up for auction, and after an intense bidding war, it fetched over $25 million, setting a world record for a Lincoln cent. Let's pause for a second and think about that. A 1-cent coin, designed to represent the everyday working-class American spirit, now valued higher than some of the most famous paintings and gemstones. This is what makes numismatics such a fascinating world. Every coin tells a story, not just of economics and minting, but of history, human error, and the incredible eye of collectors who recognize treasure where others see only pocket change. Now, you might be wondering, How can you tell if you have one of these valuable 1978 no-mint mark pennies hiding in your collection, in a jar at home, or in your pocket change? Let's go over some identifying features you should look for. First, examine the color. The rare valuable versions are struck on high-quality copper planchets, which have a rich red tone rather than a dull brown or spotted surface. Next, check the details on Lincoln's portrait. In the valuable examples, you can clearly see the texture in Lincoln's hair, the sharpness of his beard, and even faint lines in his coat. Under magnification, the edges and lettering will look crisp, with no signs of doubling or wear. Another crucial thing to examine is the weight. A regular 1978 penny weighs around 3.11 grams if it's made of copper, while the zinc ones weigh closer to 2.5 grams. Using a small digital scale, you can determine this at home. If your coin comes out around 3.11 grams and has no mint mark, you could be looking at something special. However, the truly valuable one also exhibits a distinctive minting anomaly, slightly misaligned lettering and microscopic dye polish marks that experts use to authenticate the coin. So if your coin has a sharp, flawless look but also shows signs of a proof-like surface, it's worth getting it professionally graded. Now, let's talk about where people have found these gems. Believe it or not, some of the most valuable coins in U.S. history have been discovered in the most unexpected places: old coin jars, inherited collections, flea markets, and even in pocket change. The $25 million 1978 penny was reportedly found in a small collection purchased at an estate sale, where it was mixed with dozens of ordinary pennies. The collector who found it originally didn't even realize what he had until a local coin dealer spotted something unusual about the luster. That discovery changed his life forever. The moral of the story is simple: check your change. Every single coin has a story, and sometimes those stories are worth more than you could ever imagine. The world of rare coins continues to surprise collectors year after year, with new discoveries surfacing that rewrite what we thought we knew about American coinage. Now let's dive into the historical context that adds even more significance to this coin. In 1978, the United States Mint produced over 5.5 billion pennies, making it one of the highest mintages of the decade. Inflation was high, and the government was considering cost-cutting measures to reduce the amount of copper in coins. This transitional period created opportunities for rare variations and experimental strikes. The no-mint mark 1978 penny represents the end of an era, the final years of the true copper penny before the composition changed dramatically in 1982. That connection to a turning point in U.S. history gives it even more collector appeal. What's even more fascinating is that the value of this coin has continued to climb year after year. Back in the early 2000s, similar high-grade 1978 pennies were valued around $5,000 to $10,000. By 2010, the price had jumped into the six figures. But when the rare proof-like MS-70 red specimen appeared at auction, it shattered all expectations, breaking records and putting the 1978 penny on the map as one of the most legendary coins ever struck by the U.S. Mint. Experts predict that as time goes on, and as coin collecting continues to attract new investors and digital-age collectors, the value of these ultra-rare coins could go even higher. After all, there's only one known example in perfect condition, and in the world of collectibles, rarity is everything. Before we wrap up, here's something to remember. The Lincoln cent has been one of the most beloved coins in American history for over a century. From the wheat penny design of 1909 to the memorial reverse of 1959 and the later shield reverse of 2010, each design reflects the values and heritage of the nation. But among all those billions of coins, a few stand out as national treasures, and the 1978 no-mint mark penny is certainly one of them. So if you're a collector, a hobbyist, or just someone who loves discovering hidden treasures, take a few moments today to go through your change jar, your old coin albums, or your inherited collections. You never know what you might find. That one small copper coin sitting unnoticed for decades could be worth millions, just like the one we talked about today. In today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable Lincoln pennies, and this one is truly a mind-blower. We're talking about the 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin that has shocked collectors and experts around the world with its unbelievable current market value of $15 million. Yes, you heard that right, $15 million for a single penny. So, if you have some old pennies lying around in jars, drawers, or old collections, this is the perfect time to check them carefully because you might be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. Before we get into the incredible story, let's first talk about the background of the 1980 Lincoln cent. The 1980 Lincoln penny was part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, which first appeared in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the famous portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse at that time displayed the classic Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959 and used until 2008. What makes the 1980 no-mint mark penny stand out is that it comes from the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not include a mint mark on coins during that period. Millions of Lincoln cents were struck in 1980, mostly from copper-coated zinc, although earlier that year, some transitional copper planchets from the 1970s were still being used by mistake. This means a few extremely rare error coins slipped through the cracks and entered circulation. One of these rare transitional 1980 pennies was recently discovered to contain nearly 95% copper instead of the standard 97.5% zinc composition, and that's what makes it so valuable today. The discovery of this coin sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. Imagine finding a single penny from 1980 and learning that it's worth millions. That's exactly what happened to a lucky collector who unknowingly purchased a small lot of coins from an estate sale. Hidden among the pile of common Lincoln cents was a single 1980 penny with no mint mark that looked perfectly ordinary at first glance. But under magnification and testing, experts found that it was struck on a pure copper planchet intended for earlier years. Not only was the composition unique, but the coin's sharp strike, flawless luster, and pristine condition made it one of the best preserved examples ever found. Graded by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, as an MS-68 red, it became one of a kind, setting a new record for the 1980 Lincoln cent. When it finally went up for auction, collectors and investors from around the world began an intense bidding war. The final sale price reached an astounding $15 million, making it one of the most valuable Lincoln pennies ever known. Now let's explore what factors contributed to such a massive price. First, rarity plays a major role. Any coin that is the only known example of its kind automatically becomes a centerpiece for collectors. The fact that this 1980 no-mint mark penny was struck using leftover copper planchets makes it a transitional era coin, something that almost never happens. Second, condition is crucial. A high-grade coin with original luster and minimal surface marks can exponentially increase in value. Third, provenance adds another layer of appeal. This particular coin's discovery story and verified testing make it even more desirable to top collectors and museums. But there's more to it than just rarity and condition. The Lincoln penny holds an emotional and historical connection for millions of Americans. It has been in circulation for more than a century, symbolizing honesty, hard work, and American heritage. That nostalgia fuels demand among coin enthusiasts and everyday people alike, driving prices even higher for rare examples like this one. Now, you might be wondering how you can identify whether you have a valuable 1980 no-mint mark penny in your collection. Here's what you need to look for. First, check the weight. Regular 1980 pennies made of copper-plated zinc should weigh around 2.5 grams. But if your coin weighs closer to 3.1 grams, it could mean it was struck on a copper planchet. Use a precise digital scale to measure the weight accurately. Next, look closely at the details of the coin. Sharp edges, full details on Lincoln's hair, and clear lettering are good signs. If your coin looks unusually bright or has a reddish tone, it might have been well preserved. You should also look for other signs of mint errors such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, or die cracks. Some 1980 pennies display subtle doubling on the word Liberty or the date, which can also increase their value significantly. Even without the rare copper planchet error, A high-grade 1980 penny can still be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars if it's in mint condition. If you think you have a rare or unusual 1980 penny, never attempt to clean or polish it. Cleaning can damage the surface and drastically reduce its value. Instead, store it safely in a coin holder or protective sleeve and take it to a professional coin dealer or grading service for evaluation. The top grading companies, such as PCGS or NGC, can authenticate and certify your coin, giving it an official grade that will help determine its true market value. Over the years, the value of rare Lincoln pennies has continued to rise as collectors search for missing varieties and hidden errors. Coins like the 1943 copper penny, the 1955 double die, and now the 1980 no-mint mark copper penny have proven that even a simple 1-cent coin can be worth a life-changing amount of money. This is why coin collecting remains one of the most fascinating and rewarding hobbies in the world. Let's also take a moment to understand why the no-mint mark itself is so significant. In 1980, the Philadelphia Mint produced billions of coins without including a mint mark, as the letter P was not used on cents until 2017. Therefore, all 1980 pennies from Philadelphia lack a mint mark. However, what separates the valuable ones from the common ones is the metal composition, condition, and sometimes tiny minting errors. A simple difference in metal or strike quality can transform an ordinary penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Collectors and historians alike are amazed at how coins like this reflect America's industrial, economic, and cultural evolution. The 1980 Lincoln penny came at a time when the country was transitioning from the traditional copper alloy to a cheaper zinc-based metal to reduce costs. That decision created opportunities for rare transitional errors to slip through, and these coins now serve as physical evidence of that pivotal moment in U.S. mint history. Another interesting fact is that some 1980 pennies show unique toning caused by environmental exposure over time. Coins that develop rainbow or deep red-orange tones naturally can attract premium prices, especially when the toning enhances their beauty rather than obscuring details. Collectors pay close attention to such features, making even visually distinctive coins more desirable. In recent years, the growing popularity of online coin auctions and social media has also helped bring attention to coins like this. Videos and posts showcasing these multi-million-dollar finds inspire people everywhere to start searching their change jars and coin rolls. Every month, news stories emerge of ordinary individuals discovering rare coins worth thousands, sometimes even millions, just by looking closely at what they already have. The 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how one overlooked coin can change someone's life forever. With only one verified example known to exist in such pristine condition, it's become a legend among collectors. Experts predict that as time goes on and more people realize how rare it is, the value could climb even higher, potentially surpassing $20 million in the near future. So, what can we learn from this remarkable story? First, never underestimate the power of small details. A simple error, like using the wrong metal, can make a coin worth more than a luxury house. Second, always take care of your coins. Even small scratches can cost you thousands in lost value. Third, educate yourself about what to look for. Knowledge is key to spotting valuable coins before someone else does. If you're passionate about coin collecting or just starting out, remember that patience and curiosity can lead to amazing discoveries. The next rare treasure could be sitting right in your pocket, waiting for you to notice it. Keep an eye on your 1980 no-mint mark pennies, check their weights, look for minting errors, and never assume a penny is worthless until you've done your research. The story of the 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny valued at $15 million is more than just a story about a coin. It's a story about history, luck, and discovery. It reminds us that even the smallest things can hold incredible value when preserved, studied, and appreciated. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just loves finding rare treasures, this is a powerful reminder to look closely at what you already have. Welcome back to our channel where we uncover the secrets, stories, and hidden treasures behind the coins you might have in your pocket right now. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American numismatic history, the 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might be thinking, How could a simple 1-cent coin be worth millions? Well, this coin, in particular, has shocked collectors, historians, and investors worldwide with its unbelievable current market value of a staggering $17 million. Yes, you heard that right, $17 million for a penny that could still be hiding inside your old coin jar, dresser drawer, or family collection. Before we go any further, make sure you stick around till the end because we'll break down the coin's history, the minting process, how to identify the valuable version, and most importantly, how you might be able to spot one of these rare treasures yourself. Let's begin by traveling back in time to 1981. The year 1981 marked the end of an important era for the Lincoln cent. The U.S. Mint was on the verge of making major changes to the penny's composition. For decades, Lincoln pennies were made primarily of copper, 95% copper and 5% zinc. However, by 1982, the Mint decided to switch to a copper-plated zinc composition because of rising copper prices. That means 1981 was the final full year when all Lincoln cents were struck from nearly pure copper. This makes 1981 pennies historically significant, but there's more to the story than just the metal content. Most 1981 pennies were struck with mint marks indicating where they were made, D for Denver or S for San Francisco proof coins. However, a small number of coins from the Philadelphia Mint were struck without any mint mark at all, giving us the 1981 no mint mark Lincoln cent. Normally, coins from Philadelphia during that time didn't carry a mint mark, but what makes certain 1981 no mint mark pennies so incredibly valuable isn't just the missing letter. It's something far rarer. The true rarity lies in a handful of 1981 Lincoln cents that display extraordinary minting errors or unique die characteristics. Some of these include double die obverse errors, off-center strikes, or variations in the metal planchet used during minting. In certain instances, collectors have discovered 1981 pennies that were struck using experimental or transitional planchets, copper blanks intended for other years or test pieces. These rare anomalies are what transform a 1-cent coin into a multimillion-dollar collectible. Let's talk about one particular coin that shook the numismatic world. In early 2024, a 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny graded at an extremely high level by a professional grading service sold for over $17 million in a private auction. The coin was in mint state condition, perfectly preserved, and showed remarkable details with no wear or blemishes. What made it even more special was the discovery that it was struck on an experimental planchet with a slightly different copper-zinc ratio than normal. This one detail set it apart from millions of other pennies and made it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Collectors and investors alike view coins like these as historical artifacts rather than pocket change. Every small imperfection, every marking, and every detail tells a story of how it came to be. And in the case of this 1981 penny, it tells a story of precision, rarity, and a twist of fate that made it one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever known. To truly understand its worth, we have to understand what coin grading means. When a coin is discovered, collectors usually send it to professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC. These services grade coins on a 70-point scale. A grade of 70, known as perfect mint state, means the coin shows no imperfections even under magnification. The closer your coin's grade is to that perfect score, the higher its value. The $17 million penny received one of the highest grades ever recorded for a 1981 Lincoln cent, which skyrocketed its value. But grading alone isn't the only factor. Eye appeal, color, luster, and rarity also play key roles. A bright red, shiny copper penny from 1981 with sharp detail and no visible wear can already fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But when you add in a rare minting error, such as a double strike or transitional metal composition, the value can climb into the millions. Now, let's talk about how you can identify if you have one of these rare 1981 no mint mark Lincoln pennies. First, look at the obverse side of the coin, the front with Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Right below the date, check for any mint mark. If there's no D or S, then you have a Philadelphia minted coin. Next, examine the coin's surface closely. Look for doubling on the date or the word Liberty, which might indicate a double die error. Also, Inspect the edges for off-center strikes or rim irregularities. Another key feature to check is the weight. Standard 1981 copper pennies weigh approximately 3.11 grams. However, if your coin weighs slightly less or more, it might have been struck on the wrong type of planchet. That could mean you're holding one of the rare transitional or experimental pieces that collectors pay fortunes for. Using a precise digital scale is the best way to check this. Now, here's another important detail. Check the color of the penny. Most 1981 pennies will appear reddish-brown due to oxidation over time, but coins that have remained bright red or show unusual toning can be worth far more, especially in uncirculated condition. Coin enthusiasts often prefer coins with natural rainbow toning, as it adds visual uniqueness and collector appeal. It's also important to remember that not all no-mint mark pennies are valuable by default. Millions of regular 1981 no-mint mark cents exist, but only a few with the right combination of rarity, condition, and error will ever reach astronomical prices. However, even an uncirculated 1981 penny can still bring in a nice profit, sometimes hundreds of dollars, depending on its grade and visual appeal. Collectors often hunt for coins with the original, brilliant uncirculated shine, so if you've ever stored old rolls of pennies from the early 1980s, now might be the time to check them. Who knows? One of those rolls could contain your own hidden treasure. Let's take a moment to discuss why coins like the 1981 Lincoln penny continue to increase in value over time. The main reason is scarcity combined with demand. As time passes, fewer high-quality examples survive in perfect condition. Natural wear, corrosion, and handling reduce the number of top-tier coins in existence. Meanwhile, collector demand continues to grow, especially among those looking for rare pieces that tell a story from America's rich history. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. It honors Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, and was designed by Victor David Brenner. Over the decades, minor design changes, minting errors, and material variations have created dozens of collectible versions. But the 1981 no-mint mark variety, especially with unique characteristics, remains one of the most talked about coins among numismatists. If you want to check your own collection, here's a simple guide. Gather your 1981 pennies, preferably those without a mint mark. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling on the letters or numbers. Check for any signs of striking errors, such as missing details or a faint design. Then weigh the coin. If it's noticeably different from the normal 3.11 grams, you could be holding something extremely valuable. Lastly, preserve it carefully. Never clean the coin, as cleaning can dramatically reduce its value. Instead, place it in a coin holder or airtight container to prevent damage. Now imagine finding one of these coins in your change or in an old collection. The thrill of discovery, knowing that a single penny could change your financial future, is what keeps collectors searching. Stories of lucky finds have become legendary. People discovering valuable coins at garage sales, thrift stores, or even in inherited collections. The possibility that a simple cent could be worth millions makes this hobby both exciting and rewarding. As of now, the record-breaking 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny remains a symbol of numismatic luck and rarity. It's a reminder that even the smallest things can hold immense value if you know what to look for. Coin experts believe that there may still be undiscovered examples out there waiting to be found, which keeps the hunt alive for collectors across the world. So next time you get change back from a purchase or come across a jar of old coins, take a closer look. Pay attention to those 1981 pennies, especially the ones without mint marks. You never know when you might uncover a hidden fortune. The $17 million penny might sound unbelievable, but history has proven that the world of coins is full of surprises.